Hi, Roberta Hill here. Welcome to the very first Zoom call, which is in between our cafe and our salon for the Solo Travel Society. Normally, I would like to create these Zoom calls when they're relevant as a conversation between various members. This one, though, is going to be pretty one-sided, and so I'm going to make it public for anyone to view. This past week, I received exactly the same question, one from a long-term follower and subscriber and friend, and the second one from my son, both of whom are going at the end of May to France, one for 2 weeks and one for a 3-month internship. So the question was, what eSIM would be best for me? Now, I've written a lot about this. I've even created a GPT that will sort that out. But despite that, and despite the fact that my follower had access to that, they really wanted my opinion. They knew that I liked Airlio, but they were having some trouble with it last time they used it. So there's a lot of different aspects to eSIMs, but I want to tell you, and I probably should have put this up first, the keys to what you need to make it successful. One, once you've determined what you want, based on how much data, would you need a phone, how long it is, what the extension is in terms of one country or more, the region, you need to purchase it. Then the second thing you need to do right away is install it, just to make sure that it does work and it's installed properly. And whatever company you're using will tell you, yeah, it's available or not. And then the trick here, all of this has to be done on Wi-Fi, and so does activating it. Now, activating it, you probably don't want to do it until you're ready to leave, because that's when it pretty much starts. The same with installation. You're good for usually 12 months. So I do recommend you not buy it 6 months in advance, but you buy it closer to it, install it, and then the day before you leave, you activate it, because you are going to have, I don't know how many times I think it was in the States, and when we were on a cruise and got off, I hadn't activated it, and although I'd installed it, and it just didn't work for 24 hours. So make sure you activate it before you leave. Here's one more trick, and then we'll wrap up, which is when you're on the plane, before you put it into airplane mode, go into the settings, turn off your existing phone as not primary, make the eSIM primary, and if possible, the only one, and active. And so when you land, it won't conflict with the two. Later on, you can experiment a little if you want to turn the other one on for phone or as a backup, or be able to switch between the two. But sometimes the two will conflict with one another, and you want to make sure it's working when you land. I absolutely support Airlio as my number one choice, except in some places, South America and South Africa, I would have probably taken Holio. I think they have excellent coverage. So there's both. If I brought up my iPhone for you, you'd see that I have something like a dozen different eSIM companies, of whom I've tried at least 6, 7 of them. And I seem to come back to where I regularly like, Airlio. Now, given that, I did look into it a little bit more. I did actually use my GPT, and it gave me the typical answers about what's the cheapest, what's the best. But it also suggested to consider more expensive, but if you wanted good data and you wanted a phone number, if you were just in France, to consider Orange. Now, I know Orange from living in France and had used it for many years as a real phone, for a smartphone. And so I thought, well, what did I offer, particularly for my son? And definitely it was going to be the Orange 3-month package. It's not for locals. It is for visitors who are going to be there for 3 months. It is a little bit more expensive, but it provides lots of data over that 3-month period. And is good in the rest of Europe, and it gives you a phone number, which he's going to need in France. So that's what I recommended. And then after thinking about that, I thought to my friend, you might want to use Orange as well. And I hope that this has been of use to you in your questions that you might have around eSIMs. Thanks very much.